In the autumn of 1987, I was a young journalist, eager to prove myself with a story that would grip readers. My editor, sensing my ambition, handed me a lead about Blackwood Asylum, a decaying relic on the outskirts of a small New England town. Abandoned since the 1950s, it was infamous for its brutal treatments and rumors of restless spirits. Locals claimed to hear growling noises at night, not animalistic, but something deeper, more human, yet wrong. My assignment was simple. Spend a night inside and write about it. I thought it was a gimmick. I was wrong. I arrived at Blackwood as dusk settled, the sky bruised purple. The asylum loomed like a rotting carcass, its windows shattered, ivy strangling the brickwork. My flashlight cut through the gloom as I stepped inside, the air thick with mildew and something sharper, like burnt hair. My footsteps echoed in the cavernous foyer, where a chipped mosaic spelled out, "Healing through pain." I set up my sleeping bag in what seemed to be an old common room, its walls scarred with scratches that looked too deliberate to be random. As night fell, the temperature plummeted. I zipped up my jacket, my breath visible, and started recording notes on my cassette player. Around midnight, I heard it, a low, guttural growl, not from outside, but from somewhere deep within the building. It wasn't a dog or a bear. It was too rhythmic, almost like a chant. I froze, my heart hammering. The sound grew louder, closer, until it seemed to come from the walls themselves. I grabbed my flashlight and scanned the room. Nothing but dust and shadows. I told myself it was the wind, or maybe squatters messing with me. I forced a laugh, but it sounded hollow. Then my cassette player clicked on by itself. Static hissed, and through it, a voice, distorted, barely human, growled, "You don't belong here. You don't belong here." I yanked the batteries out, my hands shaking. The growling stopped, but the silence was worse. It felt like the building was holding its breath. I decided to explore, hoping to find a rational explanation. The hallway stretched endlessly, doors on either side leading to rooms with rusted gurneys and stained mattresses. In one room, I found a pile of patient files scattered on the floor. I picked one up. Subject 47, unresponsive to lobotomy, exhibits vocal anomalies. Scrawled in red ink across the page was a single word, growler. My skin prickled. The air grew heavier, like someone was standing just behind me. I spun around. Nothing. Then the growling returned, louder, from multiple directions. It wasn't one voice but many, overlapping, vibrating in my chest. I ran, my flashlight beam bouncing wildly. The hallway seemed to twist. Doors I hadn't noticed before, now ajar, revealing glimpses of movement, shadows that didn't match my own. I stumbled into what looked like an operating theater, its tiled walls stained brown. In the center was a chair, leather straps dangling, and above it, a flickering fluorescent light. The growling swelled, and the light buzzed, casting strobing shadows. In those flashes, I saw them, figures, not fully solid, their faces blurred, but their mouths open, unnaturally wide, emitting that horrible sound. They weren't looking at me, they were looking through me, like I was already part of their world. I screamed, backing into a corner, clutching my flashlight like a weapon. The light flickered out, and in the darkness, something cold brushed my arm. Not a hand, but a presence, deliberate and curious. I don't know how long I stayed there, curled up, whispering to myself to stay sane. When dawn broke, the growling faded and the figures were gone. I staggered out of Blackwood, my cassette player and notes left behind. I never wrote the story. My editor fired me, but I didn't care. I couldn't go back to that place, not even in my mind. Years later, I heard Blackwood was demolished. The official report said they found nothing unusual, just old medical equipment. But a friend who worked on the crew told me something else. They found scratches on the walls, fresh ones, and during the demolition, the radios kept picking up static laced with growling. He quit the next day. I still hear that sound sometimes in the quiet of the night. It's not just a memory, it's a warning. Blackwood is gone, but whatever was inside it isn't, and I know deep down it remembers me. It was supposed to be a simple dare, just one night in the old Black Hollow Asylum, abandoned for decades, rotting at the edge of the forest. Locals whispered about strange noises, shadows that moved, and a deep growling that echoed through the halls long after midnight. But I didn't believe in that stuff, at least not until that night. I went in around 9 p.m. with my friend Connor. He was filming everything on his phone for our YouTube channel. The place was freezing inside, colder than the air outside. The walls were stained, peeling, and covered in graffiti, but some rooms still had hospital beds and rusted equipment. It felt like time had stopped. At around 11:30, we were on the third floor when we heard it, a low, animalistic growl, not like a dog. It was deeper, human almost. We froze. Connor, did you hear that? I nodded, heart pounding. We thought maybe it was an animal, but as we moved toward the noise, it moved away from us, always just out of reach. Then we entered what used to be the solitary wing. The energy shifted. It felt heavy, wrong. The growling started again, closer now, followed by footsteps, but not ours. They were slow, dragging, like someone limping. Connor turned to me, pale as death. We need to go. We started backing up, but as we turned, the lights we had flickered, and everything went black. That's when we heard the voices, not just growling anymore. Whispers layered over each other, overlapping, impossible to understand but unmistakably angry. And then a scream, not ours. Something else, something inhuman. We bolted. As we rushed down the hall, Connor's flashlight briefly lit up a figure at the end, tall, gaunt, and twitching, its head cocked at an unnatural angle, and it was growling, louder, deeper, like it was in our ears. We didn't stop running until we burst out of the front doors. Neither of us spoke the whole ride home. Connor doesn't talk about it anymore. He deleted the footage the next day, said there was something in the background, something that moved when we didn't. He said when he slowed it down, the figure was closer every time the camera flickered. I never went back, but sometimes in the dead of night, when it's completely silent, I swear I hear that growl again right outside my window.